Hi, I'm Miss Dara from the Rogers Public Library, and we're doing design with Miss Dara. And today we're talking about the principles of design, and we're going to talk about unity, or another way they describe that is harmony in an art piece. So you'll need your packet from the library. You can pick these up at the library, and inside of it is this packet. So this is what we're going to need. You shouldn't need any other supplies except for maybe like some paper towels or wipes. Might be nice. All right, so let's talk about unity first. So unity is how well the different parts of a picture work together, or the different parts of an art piece work together. So we're not going to do like a 2D art piece today. We're going to do a 3D art piece to do this one. But somehow your art piece needs to work together, and that's how you create unity in your art piece. So it's the connection between your elements that make it have a sense of everything belongs in the picture. All right, so you can use that to use different elements that we've already talked about, or some new ones that we'll learn to create that unity. So you could use repetition, which is one we haven't used yet, but it's just using repeating elements in your picture to come up with your unified picture. Or you could do things that are similar in color. You could make your project symmetrical, like we talked about when we talked about balance. You could use things that have a radial design or a symmetrical design, or you could use similar colors, or you could use similar the way it's laid out. You could like line things up and make similar patterns in your project. So anything that you use together to create that unified feeling in your artwork. So today we are going to do this right here. This is a mandala on a rock. And so this is a rock painting. So I have a couple examples here that I've done. This one I just washed my rock off. This one I actually washed it off and then I painted it with white paint. So in your bag, if you open it up, you should have a paintbrush and a pencil. Some of them are yellow pencils, some of them green pencils. Then there should be some paint, and there should be 4 bags of paint, and everybody has different colors. This is just the colors I happen to end up with. Then you'll have a rock, and you'll want to wash this off because they're a little bit dusty. I did wash them, but sometimes it takes a couple times. Okay, then you'll have some Q-tips and some toothpicks in your bag. So the first thing you want to do is figure out how you want to lay this out. You may even want to get a pencil and mark out, like decide which way you want it to go. Like mine has a hump right here in it. If you want it to lay on the other side, or like however you want it to lay, design where you want your dots to be, and then you can mark that out with a pencil. Or if you, like me, like to just freehand everything, just start working on it. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm just going to get my paint and open up my little bag of paint. You might have to like open it up and squeeze it a little bit because it may have dried at the top. And I'm going to use the end of the pencil here as my first dot. And just make sure you get it covered. And I'm going to put the middle of mine right here. And if you want to make it bigger than just one, you can increase the size of that circle a little bit. However you want it to go. And then you can use the other tips of things in order to create bigger or smaller dots. I actually am going to switch colors here. I'm going to use this nice green. And sometimes it takes a little bit to get enough paint on it because it's a little bitty tip, and I'm just going to use this to make dots around that. And they're pretty little dots. And I'm trying to keep it about even as far as how far away apart they are from one another. and how big they are. And I'm not an expert at this, so mine has imperfections. But that's okay because it's my art piece, so it doesn't have to be perfect. And if you want to make them bigger or smaller, you can always go back and touch it again. I'm making my dots a little bit bigger here. And if you totally mess it up, like I did right there, if you see my dots aren't spaced evenly, and so instead of going back and wiping it off and trying to fix it, I'm just going to make bigger dots. And I'm just going to use my Q-tip to make those dots a little bit bigger so that they more match. Kind of like that. And so you can do that however you want to do it. Make your own design. The little bitty ones, you can make itty bitty dots with those. I used a variety of sizes of dots on mine. And these little bags sometimes are hard to open. So I'm going to just make dots in between those dots. And the thing about Q-tips is they tend to absorb your paint, and then they don't want to, they like start stringing out pieces. They don't want to stay together. But with the gray rock, it's not wanting to just show up with the paint here. If you use white, your dots will show up better. And on this one, I'm doing just single dots, but you could do like dots in a line like this here. All right, so wipe that off. So here is the start of mine. So as you see, I did some lines like I did on this one. I did some lines of dots coming out, and then you can just fill it in however you want it to fill it in. But that's the start of my mandala. So it has unity because of the colors. I'm doing the similar size dots here, and the whole dot thing makes it unified. So there you go. And it's kind of a radial design, but it's not centered radial, but it is kind of a radial. All right, guys. Well, thanks. I'm excited to see what you guys do, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.